this is function generator. You can see there are different knobs and different switches are there. I just switch on it to show you that that you can see here it is been displayed 47.58 here 47.54. This is the frequency, and you can change this knob, the frequency, whatever you want, desire the frequency, what frequency you want to generate that waveform. You can change the frequency, and that is for a fine adjustment. And you can see the another these are the knobs. What are the maximum frequency you want? Suppose I want 50 hertz frequency. I just go for a maximum of 200. Therefore I just pressed for a 200. Therefore you can, it is written below 200. Then now I press that switches for 200 and I can get. If you want to get suppose 1.5K, therefore you have to switch for 2K. Therefore in this way these are the switches for maximum frequencies. And now this is the now you can see that this is another switches is there. This is if you unpressed, it will be showing the frequency. If it is pressed, it will showing the peak to peak voltage measurement. By this is that pin. This is the generating waveforms have a peak to peak value of 12.5 volt. Therefore, if it is unpressed, it will show you the frequency. Now you can see here that there are other few knobs are there, and the below the shape of the waveforms is shown here. Now if you press, it will generate the sinusoidal waveform. If you press this one, it will show you the square waveforms. This is the thing, and this is the knob. You can change the peak to peak voltage, and the lower knob, this is the knob where you are going to connect the probe, which is to be given as an input to the some other devices, and that is all about the function generator. This is multimeter. We can measure in this voltage. You can measure the DC voltage. For DC voltage, you have to keep it here, and for measuring AC voltage, you keep it here. And you can measure the current also. But in the case of a current measuring, you should keep this red bottom to this. If your milliampere current is measuring, you have to keep it here. If it is a ampere, you will keep it here. But for voltage, for resistance measuring, for capacitor measuring, capacitance measuring, for a frequency measuring, you should keep this red bottom here. And for measuring the current, you have to keep here. And this the black, you can see this is the common. It will not move. Now you can measure here DC voltage, AC voltage. You can measure the resistance, and you can measure the current. You can measure the capacitance, and this can be measured from this multimeter. Only you have to move this knob, and you should indicate to that particular symbol, then you can measure it. This is the springboard. You can see this is the different terminals are there, and here how to place. I'll show you how to place the IC into the springboard. You just open it first. After that, you can see that there is a broken side notch in the. This is the top that you have to take a precaution that the top should be placed in this way. After placing, you just lock it. After that, this is the IC of a 8-pin IC. After placing this IC, this one become a pin number 1, pin number 2, pin number 3, pin number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it is connected in the back side, it is connected in this way. Therefore, I showed you the back side also. And the remaining, these are the pins. These are completely isolated. These are the pins completely isolated. Therefore, if it is a 8 pin, therefore only these pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the pins. And while connecting, you should take care that these pins are used. Wherever the pins are used, you make the use of the pins. and you can use the remaining, you can use for as a for connecting any other the resistance or capacitance, and these are isolated, there are no connection between any of the two. This is a DC power supply. You can see that there are different knobs are there, and the black one here, the black one is the ground, the red one give you 5 volt, the yellow one will give you 12 volt, and the green one will give you minus 12 volt, and blue one will give you 30 volts. And whatever the voltage you require, and you can connect the accordingly, you can connect to the this DC power supply. This is a regulated power supply to get a voltage between 0 to 32 volt DC, and DC voltage. This is a regulated DC power supply, and that is used when we require a voltage of a very fractional voltage also. This will be given, this will give you the fractional voltage also, and we have to connect. This is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, and that we are using these two terminal for supplying the potential to other devices, and that will give you very accurately, and that will give you that you can change this knob, you can change the voltage, and that is for a very fine adjustment, and that is the simple way to you can say to work with this regulated power supply.
And take the complete video.
This is digital IC trainer kits. You have seen in the video that there are different IC slots are there, and you can put the slots by you can put the slots here, and after putting the IC into the slots, and the sidewise it is written the pin numbers also. But one thing you take in care, if this slot, the 16 pin, if it is 16 pin IC is placed, therefore the numbers are the exactly what is written here, it will be the same. But if it is a 14 pin IC, therefore this last two will not be used. Therefore the numbering will change from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in this way, and therefore other all are the similar things. And this is the output, wherever the output you will get it, and here the input will be connected in the black, and the input can be changed with the switches. Input can be changed. Another part is there, this continuity check. Sometimes if you have doubt about your patch card, therefore you can change continuity, you can check it here. This is the two terminal, and some experiment require that clock pulse. Therefore you can create the clock pulse by this. You connect the wire here, and the clock pulse can be created from here, and this is the manual clock pulses, and here you can automatic also the clock pulses are created from here. And this is the here you can in some cases, if you require some potential you can, here is a plus 12 volt, here is a plus 5 volt, and here is a minus 12 volt. In this way, according to the requirement, you can use that digital IC trainer for different experiment.